Welcome to the Den of Tools.
Howdy ho, guys and gals, it's Red, your friendly neighborhood tool bear, back again here in the Den of Tools. And today is, of course, Porter Cable's big news day. They've been counting it down on all their social media. We've been talking about it over in the Facebook group. I've been chatting with a few of you about what we think's going to happen. Now, of course, Porter Cable is Stanley Black & Decker's middle of the road, their Goldilocks zone, if you will. You know, they have Black & Decker at the bottom, they have DeWalt up at the top, and this was supposed to be their counter. They bought the Porter Cable brand in 2009, and they developed the 20 volt line, their cordless line, specifically to counter against TTI's Rigid. Now, of course, TTI had Milwaukee at the top, they had Ryobi at the bottom, and Rigid was really making inroads in this prosumer market, they now call the Value Pro, whatever, and Stanley Black & Decker wanted a piece of that, so they bought Porter Cable, and they brought out that 20 volt line here to get into that, and it never really amounted to that. It never did what they thought they were going to do. It never developed that kind of cult following or that really rabid following like other brands have. It was just kind of like people knew it was there and meh. And we didn't hear about much from them for years, honestly. And I've actually been reaching out to them consistently 3-4 times a year going, hey guys, talk to us, let us know what's going on. And all I got was crickets until recently they finally admitted, yeah, they were canceling the Porter Cable router line. Now, this is like Hershey saying they're no longer going to make chocolate, okay? Because the router line was the one thing they had that was still going strong. It was the one thing that people really went to them for. It was what they were best known for. Now, funny thing is, a couple days later, they contacted me and went, oh, no, we're wrong. We're not canceling it. But then they wouldn't explain it, and they never responded to me again. Now, this may be because I've been heckling them. I admit it, I have. I've been kind of heckling them on Instagram for most of this previous year. This is back in spring here. This was they posted this in, what was it? April 2nd. Spring cleaning is coming. They get this big news, this whole big thing that new stuff is coming from Porter Cable. Big news coming from Porter Cable. Now, the previous post was this one right here to the right of it. As we can see, 166 weeks ago. That's how long they'd ghosted their people. In fact, if you go through here, you scroll down a little bit, you will find my comment. And yes, as I said here, I said 2.5 years of ghosting your buyers, and this is all you can say. You guys really owe PC 20 volt owners a better explanation than this. And they continued to post pics of old tools all summer, all spring, all summer long. And yes, as some of the other tool tubers have commented, I did kind of ride them about this because they announced this big news thing, provided nothing. And then a lot of these are older pictures. We were able to find that some of these pictures were 2, 3, 5 years old in some cases that they just reposted. And there was really no explanation. And they wouldn't talk to me. Maybe they talked to you. They wouldn't talk to me about it. Well, following the Instagrams, a whole bunch of these posts came out the last couple days. They started doing this. Let me show you this. Let me back up. In the last few days, they posted this series of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 coming up to the big news announcement that was today. And they sent out a bunch of these boxes to different Instagrammers and YouTubers and stuff like that saying, open this up. Here's the big news. And I was expecting, we were hoping, the consensus was that they were going to revamp the Porter Cable line as the professional woodworking line. We're like, that's the only way they can really go with this, right? That's got to be. It's not like, hey, we're shutting down the doors or something. I know a couple of you guys were like, they're being sold to Chevron and they're going to revamp the company. Yeah, we can only hope. But no, here's what happened. Listen up, big news coming. You open up the box. Come on. He opens it up, and what's inside? You got a thermos, a 5-6-year-old brushless, at least they sent him the brushless drill, and a bit box. This is also, the thermos, okay, I'll be honest, I have not seen the thermos before. It says Tractor Supply and Porter Cable because, yeah, that's the big news. Guess what? We waited all this time since April. You hadn't talked for 2.5 years. You tease us in April. Then all summer you just literally troll people. And then the big news is that they're in an exclusive relationship now with Tractor Supply. And I know a lot of people are saying this is big news. They're all really excited, yada, yada, yada. I'm a huge fan bear of the Porter Cable line. I remember the old Cirque saws. I remember the routers. I remember the sanders and, there used to be lots of great tools from Porter Cable. Big, shiny, chrome looking kind of fantastic tools. And I was excited when I saw Stanley Black & Decker revamp them, come out with a 20-volt line. I almost bought them myself when they came out. And instead, I looked around. I talked to some people who had them. They didn't care for them. So I went into the rigid line myself back then. I always had hope that they would do something fabulous with this brand. And what they've done so far is, the big announcement is they've now made it harder to buy than before. Okay, not much. Let's be honest about that. We'll talk about that more in just a minute. They used to be at Lowe's. They were the go-to brand at Lowe's for the middle of the road kind of stuff. And of course, that they've been pulled from Lowe's. They got pulled out of Walmart. They showed up in some Ace Hardwares. You've been seeing them at Sam's Clubs and Costco's and places like that. Of course, you can still find them on Amazon, some other online places and stuff. But we had no idea where this is going to be. And here's the big announcement. They counted down for days. And I'm going to read this to you here, what they had to say here. They're saying the original, this is from Porter Cable themselves, so this is their official news announcement. I'll link to this down below so you can go read the whole thing. It says the original portable power tool brand and Tractor Supply Company, the original portable power tool brand. I don't know about that. Largest rural lifestyle retailer. And they are. Tractor Supply. I'm a big fan of Tractor Supply. There's some rural brand stores. I like Murdoch's up here. I like them a lot. They're a local, regional store, and we go to them. But the largest rural lifestyle in the retailer in the U.S. is Tractor Supply, and they're going to have this great partnership, growing their national footprint, yada yada yada. In addition to bringing its extensive line of tools and accessories to Tractor Supply stores across the U.S., Porter Cable will also partner with the retailer to launch exclusive new cordless product innovations in the coming year. That's not like, hey, we're bringing out a whole new line. We're going to have some new stuff, innovations in the new year. That makes me think like weird accessories and stuff like that. It says builders and makers, I love it when they use terms like that. Builders and makers can look forward to expanding support and innovation around Porter Cable 20-volt max cordless systems and accessories. And they go on to say, now this is a spokes mouthpiece, Tabata Gomez. I'm sorry if I screwed up your name, over at Stanley Black & Decker, says, by pairing the Porter Cable brand with Tractor Supply, the largest rural lifestyle retailer in the United States, we are able to get our tools into more hands than ever before. Of course, that's what you want to do. So the spirit of a Tractor Supply customer mirrors that of the self-reliant Porter Cable user. I don't see that. As a company committed to our users, really? Committed to your users. You haven't released, I think there was one. I think in the last 2-3 years, they've released one new tool. I think Tupac has released more albums in that amount of time. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, as a company committed to our users, we want them to know that we are listening when they ask for more access to our products. We listened. We didn't do anything about it, but we listened. Their needs were the catalyst for this exciting partnership. Not our jobs, their needs. With Tractor Supply and continued commitment to the Porter Cable line. This is commitment. This is how they show commitment. Expanding the Porter Cable line at Tractor Supply stores and building upon the nearly 12 million shoppers who already own the Porter Cable 20-volt brand that we've completely banned in the past 2 years. Okay, maybe she didn't say that. Porter battery platform will help us better meet the needs of customers who enjoy the out here lifestyle, said Seth Estep. I'm terrible with names. Executive Vice President, Chief Merchandising Officer at Tractor Supply. Porter Cable has a legacy of quality tools and accessories. They had a legacy of quality tools and accessories, and that we're excited about this partnership. Whatever the product is for our customers, we now have the right Porter Cable tool and accessories to do the job. Now, it says here that they're going to be, by the end of quarter 2021, but basically by this Christmas, they're going to have it rolled out to all the different stores. You'll be able to find it everywhere. In fact, if you go to Tractor Supply online right now, you scroll down and you can see Porter Cable right there. You go through and they've got all the whole Porter Cable catalog online. And in fact, they're even showing that in local stores, there's already 75 items. Hey, they got it in stock. That's more than a lot of companies can say right now as far as getting stuff in stock. At least they have it. The prices honestly are not terrible if you take into consideration the competition. You're looking here. Here we go. This is a brushless impact driver. Now, none of this stuff is new. This has all been out for years and years. You got 2 batteries. The one thing we've always hated is the charger. They use that cheap, just uber cheap, piggyback charger. I hate that thing. And you get it for $140. Now that's going to be, this is not sale price. If you look list price, that's going to be cheaper than Rigid. It's going to be cheaper, of course, than DeWalt and Milwaukee, although there is a Milwaukee selling right now for that price on sale. But, that's a sale price for the brushless Milwaukee. Anyway, the point is, though, although I think you only get 1 battery with that, the point is that they're not overpriced. Okay, I think the pricing seems to be okay, and if this is the list price, and we can already see there's already a sale price over here on the drill driver. Of course, it's the brushed one, and they're taking it down from $100 down to $90. So they're already marking stuff down. But they've got a lot of product listed here. They've got some air tools. They got the one thing Porter Cable had when they were at Lowe's is they had stationary tools. You saw band saws, you saw drill presses and stuff like that, miter saws. Maybe we're going to see more of that rolling in over at Tractor Supply. I'm always like to see more brick and mortar carry the traditional woodworking kind of stuff. Maybe we'll see this. A lot of it, there you can buy an actual, charging dock kind of thing there if you want to. And the fact is, there are a lot of Tractor Supplies. Okay, there's just over 2,000 Lowe's. They lost out on 2,000 plus locations for retail when they got kicked out of Lowe's, but they made up for it with Tractor Supply because there's nearly 2,000 Tractor Supplies across the United States. There's quite a bit. All right, and they're still going to be available. This is for retail only, they say. So they're still going to be available online. You're probably still going to be able to find them all over Amazon, other places. Whether they're going to still show up in Costco and places like that, I don't know. They haven't told me. Oddly enough, they don't respond to me anymore. Apparently, heckling a company for not responding for 3 years gets you on their blacklist. Who knew that such a thing would happen? Anyway, I hate to say this. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't see this as a win. We've been waiting years and years for them to come out with new tools, and finally, 3 years after they basically went complete dark on everybody, the big news is you can buy them at a totally different store. The exact same tools, the exact same products at pretty much the same prices, no upgrades or anything. Now, they're promising new tools in another year, and we don't know what they're going to be. Are they going to revamp these tools? Because all they've said is they're going to add more tools. For those of you who are in the Porter Cable line, I'm happy for you that there now is an outlet. I love Tractor Supply. One of the things I don't love about this is that Tractor Supply is now saying this is the exclusive cordless power partner at Tractor Supply. You used to be able to buy DeWalt and some other stuff there. No more now. Your choice at Tractor Supply, if that's your regional farm store or whatever, is Porter Cable. You're out of luck if you've been getting other stuff there. And I'm sorry that happened to you because I love Tractor Supply. I've always had great luck shopping there. The managers have been fantastic. They've always worked great deals for me. I'm a huge fan of the company, but if I'm going to get forced into buying Porter Cable, I'm going to shop somewhere else. Let me know what you think down below. I can say here, I've made my opinions on Porter Cable clear throughout the years. And to be clear, I'm a fan bearer of the brand. I grew up with, Porter Cable tools around. I've always had a lot of respect for them. Stanley Black & Decker bought them in 2009 and turned them into something that I don't think many people would be proud of. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest about it. They don't measure up to Rigid. They barely measure up to some of the Ryobi tools. Ryobi's kept innovating, kept growing. And Porter Cable's their biggest achievement is literally the biggest brad nailer you could possibly buy. You'd look at this and you would think it's a framing nailer or maybe a roofing nailer. That's a brad nailer, folks. And it's the size of a Honda Civic. Anyway, I won't beat on them anymore. I've chewed them up enough as it is. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you excited about this? Am I just being unfair? Go on, put the bear in his place if you think I'm being unfair about this, but I don't see this as a big win. I see this as the biggest dud of the year in the tool industry. I'm sorry, but I call it like I see it. Anyway, you all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.